till I got out there with this up spot, right?
Where if I don't have heat, there's no phone service, there's nothing.
The frozen roads that made legends also broke them. Between 2007 and 2017, ice road truckers turned ordinary drivers into television icons. But when the cameras stopped rolling, real life hit harder than black ice. What happened to the men and women who risked everything on frozen highways? Stay with me as we dive into what really happened and why their stories still matter 8 years after the final season aired. In early 2025, Alex Debogorski had retired from professional trucking, marking the end of an era for the only driver to appear in all 11 seasons. In January, Mikey McBrien shared a photo of Alex visiting the hangar, an informal local gathering spot where he looked content and engaged with old friends. Meanwhile, Lisa Kelly continues to live and work in Alaska with her husband Travis Kelly, still driving the same brutal routes that made her famous. Hugh Rowland is alive and well, despite persistent online rumors about his health following his devastating 2014 accident. But not everyone survived the transition from television fame to ordinary life. The cast faced explosions, plane crashes, legal battles, and career-ending injuries. Some found new purpose beyond the ice roads, while others disappeared entirely from public view. The show that celebrated their courage couldn't protect them from the dangers that followed. For fans who spent a decade watching these drivers navigate frozen lakes and mountain passes, the question remains urgent. Where are they now? And what price did they pay for their moment in the spotlight? The ice roads may have closed for the final time on television, but the human stories continue. From tragic deaths to surprising second acts, the cast of Ice Road Truckers proves that sometimes the most dangerous journey begins after the cameras stop rolling.
I think it's just something different. I mean, there's a lot of truckers around, but they're mostly doing highway and stuff.
Let's rewind to the moment it all began. In 2007, the History Channel launched what would become one of their most successful reality series. The concept was deceptively simple. Follow truck drivers hauling cargo across frozen lakes and remote highways in Alaska and northern Canada during the brutal winter months. Based on Edith Eglauer's book, Denison's Ice Road, the episode details the treacherous job of driving trucks over frozen lakes, also known as ice roads, in Canada's Northwest Territories. The show's origins traced back to a 2000 documentary titled Ice Road Truckers that aired as part of History's Suicide Mission series. When the network decided to expand this into a full series, they had no idea they were creating television gold. The premise captured something primal about human nature, the willingness to risk everything for a paycheck, and the respect that comes from doing a job others won't touch. The series premiere was seen by 3.4 million viewers to become the most watched original telecast in the History Channel's 12-year history at that time. Audiences weren't just watching trucks cross ice, they were witnessing modern-day cowboys, facing down nature's most unforgiving challenges. The show featured dramatic opening sequences with trucks breaking through ice, though the show opening is a miniature model filmed inside a studio, a detail that would later cause tension among the actual drivers who risked their lives for real. The casting was crucial to the show's success. Producers needed drivers who could handle both the extreme conditions and the pressure of television production. They found a perfect mix: seasoned veterans with decades of experience, colorful personalities who could carry dramatic storylines, and enough genuine skill to make the dangerous runs believable. These weren't actors playing truckers, they were the real deal, and audiences could sense the authenticity. From its second season onward, Ice Road Truckers hit its stride with memorable characters who became household names. Alex Debogorski is the only cast member to have appeared in all 11 seasons of the show.
Okay, away we go for a second attempt. I'll tell you one.
The Canadian trucker brought a unique combination of experience and personality. When the TV series debuted, Alex had already been driving for 26 years. His family man persona and philosophical approach to the dangerous work made him the show's emotional anchor. Hugh Rowland, nicknamed the Polar Bear, was one of the show's central figures, especially in the early seasons.
Herd bumpers! No hard feelings.
Hugh brought intensity and business acumen, eventually founding Polar Industries and becoming the show's primary employer. His no-nonsense attitude and willingness to take calculated risks made him compelling television. Audiences respected his experience while enjoying his frequent clashes with drivers who didn't meet his standards. Lisa Kelly, one of the few female ice truckers to appear on the show,
When I went through the top ice down to hit that, usually you through the top ice, you only drop it this much.
was featured in seasons 3 to 11, excluding season 6. Her presence revolutionized the series and challenged stereotypes about who could handle the ice roads. She gained a massive fan base worldwide and even made an iconic appearance on The Late Show with David Letterman. Her skills spoke louder than any publicity stunt. She consistently completed some of the most dangerous runs while dealing with the added pressure of being one of the few women in a male-dominated field. The show's success stemmed from its perfect blend of workplace drama and extreme conditions. Viewers watched drivers navigate not just treacherous ice, but also personality conflicts, equipment failures, and crushing deadlines. The Canadian wilderness became a character in itself, creating obstacles that no script could match. When trucks broke down hundreds of miles from civilization, the tension was genuine. When ice began cracking under heavy loads, the danger was real. Critics recognized the show's authenticity. Virginia Heffernan of the New York Times said, "Watching these guys make their runs, it's hard not to share in their cold, fatigue, and horrible highway hypnosis. That existential recognition behind the wheel late at night that the pull of sleep and the pull of death are one and the same."
If any of them are still alive or not. But I mean, I'm only 48 years old.
The series captured something universal about dangerous work and the people willing to do it. Here's where it gets complicated. As ice road truckers gained popularity, the pressures of television production began affecting the very people who made the show compelling. Lisa Kelly famously cited that having a camera follow her around constantly and dealing with members of the production team invading her privacy was something she desperately needed a break from. The woman who fearlessly crossed frozen lakes found the cameras more intrusive than the ice. The most devastating blow came on August 28, 2016, when Darrell Ward died in a plane crash while traveling in a single-engined Cessna 182 Skylane with pilot Mark Melotz. Ward, 52, of Deer Lodge, died in the fiery crash Sunday on the shoulder of Interstate 90 southeast of Missoula. The tragedy struck while he was traveling to film a pilot episode for a new show about recovering plane wrecks, a bitter irony that wasn't lost on fans.
Hey man, if I ever come across a place where it's all up like that again.
Ward had just learned that he had a green light for an additional season on IRT, originally slated to begin filming in the winter of 2017. Hugh Rowland's final season on Ice Road Truckers was season 8. In 2014, he suffered a serious off-season accident that left him with significant injuries and led to a legal dispute. The details of Hugh's accident created tension between him and the show's producers, ultimately ending his decade-long run on the series. Hugh was involved in a horrific accident when the car veered off course and collided with a tree. Hugh was left with several injuries, which encouraged him to file a lawsuit against the executive producers of the show. Rick Yem, born on February 4, 1975, quickly became one of the most unforgettable faces on Ice Road Truckers, with his signature mohawk and bold personality. An unfortunate shoulder injury rendered him unable to continue driving afterward. The physical demands of ice road trucking had claimed another veteran driver, forcing Rick to reinvent his career entirely. The show continued through these setbacks, but the magic was different. Original cast members were leaving due to injuries, conflicts, or personal reasons. New drivers joined each season, but they couldn't replicate the chemistry and experience of the founding members.
Put your life jacket on. There ain't nothing you can do about it. Yeah, you can.
The ice roads remained as dangerous as ever, but the human drama that made the show compelling was fragmenting. What records, timelines, and credible reports actually show reveals a complex picture of life after ice road truckers. Alex is also a published author, having released his memoir, King of the Road, True Tales from a Legendary Ice Road Trucker, which offers an inside look at his adventures and misadventures on the ice roads. In 2022, he joined an internet streaming station for truckers and now presents a program called Tail Lights, featuring stories from his time on the road. Alex successfully leveraged his television fame into new opportunities while maintaining his connection to the trucking community. Hugh is focusing on his construction company, as well as spending time with his family. The 64-year-old has an estimated worth of an incredible $2 million following a very successful reality TV career, which makes him the richest cast member of this show. Despite his legal battles with the show's producers, Hugh parlayed his television success into lasting financial security. Most sources state that following his exit from the series, Rick shifted to running a carpet cleaning business. He has remained active on social media, providing updates on his recovery and life post-trucking.
Here's the ice, damn it. I'm nervous. Oh yeah, I'm nervous.
Rick's transition shows how former cast members adapted their work ethic and people skills to entirely different industries. Lane Keeter continued his career in the trucking industry. He worked for Carlisle Transportation until 2015, eventually becoming director of bulk operations. He later joined Black Gold Express as a general manager before moving on to Noble Inc., where he currently serves as vice president of trucking and area manager for North Dakota operations. Lane represents the cast members who used their television exposure to advance their careers within the trucking industry. The show's financial impact varied dramatically among cast members. Alex now has an estimated net worth of about $500,000, which has been generated not only from Ice Road Truckers itself, but from appearing on other TV shows and publishing a very successful book. However, not everyone benefited equally from their television fame, and some faced significant financial setbacks due to personal circumstances. Behind the television personas were real people dealing with ordinary struggles amplified by extraordinary circumstances. Alex is a self-proclaimed family man with 11 children and 13 grandchildren and has been married for 39 years. His commitment to family provided stability throughout his television career and continues to ground him in retirement.
I'm such a tomboy and I grew up on a farm running around barefoot, so it's like trucks just kind of fit.
Lane is also a proud family man. He married Liz Beth in July 2021 and frequently shares posts celebrating his family, including children Christian Keeter, Curtis Garrard, and daughters Aaliyah Benicia Keeter and bonus daughter Alexia Donahue. For many cast members, family relationships provided the emotional support necessary to handle both the dangers of ice road trucking and the pressures of television fame. Jack's wife, Judy Jesse, works in real estate, as noted on their shared Instagram account. The two have stayed active on social media and run a joint YouTube channel, sharing updates from their life in Alaska.
We're going to take a little spin today in this Volvo VN. We're going to talk about World Trucker website.
In March 2025, Jack posted a video of himself skydiving in Hawaii, checking off a long-time dream. Even in retirement, some cast members maintain their appetite for adventure. The show's most tragic figure remains Darrell Ward, whose life was cut short just as he was expanding beyond ice road trucking, when Darrell wasn't hitting the ice. Roads he would be back in Montana doing what Darrell loved best as a log hauler, and occasionally helped local authorities fight forest fires. Ward promoted a food drive to help Louisiana flood victims, occasionally helped local authorities fight forest fires, and was scheduled to appear as the Grand Marshal for the truck convoy for Special Olympics in Nova Scotia.
And I know you're like, why do I need another social network? But it's different in the way that you get to, it's like...
His community involvement showed a man who used his fame to help others. Fast forward to November 2018. One cast member's post-show life took a devastating turn. Art Burke was attempting to create a form of cannabis concentrate, which is known as shatter. The formula to create the substance uses liquid butane, which is highly flammable. The incident caused a huge explosion and sent a badly injured Burke to the hospital, with burns covering 40% of his body. 2 years later, details of the incident came to light as Burke's day in court had arrived. His actions brought on a charge of arson by negligence, as the explosion caused more than $60,000 in damage to the building he was living in at the time.
I think what attracted me to it is that nobody else in my family did it.
Yeah.
And that I've just always kind of liked engines.
Burke was sentenced Wednesday, October, 14 to 18 months of house arrest when he pleaded guilty to a charge of arson by negligence. In a background report filed in the case, Burke briefly touched on the personal toll of the incident, stating, "In one heartbeat, everything I worked for vanished. I'm going to lose all my savings for retirement." The explosion destroyed not just his apartment, but his financial security and future plans. Since then, Art has kept a very low public profile. His Facebook profile confirms he still lives in Yellowknife, Northwest Territories, and he occasionally shares humorous or light-hearted content, far removed from his ice road drama days.
There was one point there I was thinking I'm going to have to get a loader here, like a flash on a big yellow loader coming to tow me out, but I knew that wasn't going to...
Art's story illustrates how quickly life can change for reality television stars after the cameras stop rolling. The same boldness and risk-taking that made him compelling on television contributed to his personal downfall. Before this, Burke's estimated net worth was around $300,000, but the explosion and legal consequences wiped out his savings and forced him into house arrest during what should have been his retirement years. The contrast is stark. While some cast members leveraged their fame into business success and family stability, others struggled with the transition to ordinary life.
I have a creeper and my flashlight, and I'm going to crawl under here, and I'm going to pull the drain plug and drain all the oil out first, because that's probably what you got to do first.
The ice roads had clear rules and visible dangers, but post-television life proved more treacherous for some drivers than anything they encountered in the Arctic. As of August 2025, the Ice Road Truckers cast has scattered across North America, pursuing dramatically different paths. Lisa maintains a modest social media presence, sharing updates about her life and adventures, while continuing to drive the same challenging routes that made her famous. According to some sources, she drives long-haul routes between Kenai and Prudhoe Bay and uses a tough Freightliner Coronado 122 SD truck. Today, Alex remains a respected public figure. Though off the road, he continues to connect with fans through social media, truck shows, and community events. His transition from active driver to elder statesman of the ice road community shows how some cast members successfully evolved their careers while maintaining their connection to the industry that made them famous.
Hey guys, this is Lisa Kelly, and this is my first Chevron Dello video that I'm going to be doing.
Following his retirement, Hugh remained connected to the trucking community while living quietly in British Columbia. Despite the legal disputes that ended his television career, Hugh found financial success and personal peace away from the cameras. His construction business provides stability and allows him to apply the same leadership skills that made him effective on the ice roads. Greg is living in Jacksonville, Florida. He is currently engaged to Greer Dominique Poulin and appears to be focused on family life. While no longer part of the ice road world, he remains remembered by fans for his fiery spirit and the lessons he learned during his short but memorable run on Ice Road Truckers. Greg's story demonstrates how some cast members completely reinvented themselves after their television careers ended.
To like get off of what's breaking behind you, but that's like the worst thing to do on ice is punch in. The best thing to do is slow down, and that's even scarier because you're like...
The show's legacy extends beyond individual success stories. There are persistent rumors about a possible reboot, though no official announcements have been made. With rumors of a possible return of Ice Road Truckers swirling, perhaps Burke could be a part of the show's reboot, though Art's legal troubles make his participation unlikely. For fans wondering about the possibility of seeing their favorite drivers return to television, the reality is mixed. Some cast members have aged out of the physically demanding work. Others have found more stable careers, and a few have faced legal or health issues that would prevent their return. The original magic of Ice Road Truckers came from capturing real people doing genuinely dangerous work, a combination that becomes harder to recreate as the years pass. The Ice Road Truckers story reveals uncomfortable truths about reality television fame and the people who achieve it. The same qualities that made these drivers compelling on screen, risk-taking, independence, willingness to work in dangerous conditions, didn't always translate to success in ordinary life. Some thrived by channeling their television experience into business opportunities and family stability. Others struggled with the transition from adrenaline-fueled work to conventional careers. The show's most successful cast members were those who treated their television fame as a stepping stone rather than a destination. Alex Debogorski parlayed his personality and experience into writing, speaking, and media opportunities.
3 times as much as I was getting in the tire shop I was working. So off I went to the coal mine, and one thing led to another. I moved north to the...
Hugh Rowland used his leadership skills and industry knowledge to build a construction business.
Well, my exact words were, yeah, you can put the cameras in my trucks, but just stay out of my way, don't cost me any money. I said, no.
Lisa Kelly continued doing what she loved while maintaining some privacy and personal boundaries.
I have to take care of this truck because this truck takes care of me, and it's a partnership, and that's why I take care of it.
The tragedies, Darrell Ward's death, and Art Burke's explosion remind us that reality television captures real people facing genuine risks. The cameras may have stopped rolling, but the consequences of their choices continued long after the final episode aired. The Ice Roads tested their driving skills, but life after television tested their adaptability, financial management, and ability to find purpose beyond fame. Their stories also illuminate the broader challenges facing working-class people who achieve sudden fame. Without agents, managers, or formal training in handling media attention, some cast members found themselves unprepared for the financial and personal pressures that came with television success. The skills that made them excellent drivers, independence, self-reliance, willingness to take risks, sometimes worked against them when navigating the complexities of fame and its aftermath. The Ice Roads made legends, but real life proved more treacherous than any frozen highway. Some drivers found new purpose, others disappeared into quiet retirement, and a few paid prices they never anticipated. What really happened to the Ice Road Truckers cast shows us that the most dangerous journey often begins after the cameras stop rolling.
That's right, yeah.
So I'm catching up to you. Are you concerned?
Not a bit.
If these stories resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into what happened to your favorite reality stars. The ice may have melted, but their legacies continue to roll on.